Okay, let's move on to Wales versus England, and that's going to be an absolute cracker, isn't it? England will want to play better than they did. Wales will want to play better than they did at the in the first half. And you played in Cardiff many times. The Welsh will be right up for this, won't they?
Eddie's spoken in the press about the history and Wales being a tough place to go and win, and wanting the Welsh to create an atmosphere of hatred because he wants to thrive off that. He wants his players to enjoy it, and he's dead right what he said. Good teams. So he put good teams. Actually, great teams win away from home consistently, and that's something England have struggled to do in recent years. Probably over. Since that World Cup win back in 2003. So it's time, if England really have ambitions of going on, winning another Grand Slam, being a really quality, consistent side but challenging for that #1 spot in the world, then they need to win away from home in Wales. And the Welsh will make it really quite challenging for them.
Yeah, what's it like being an England player going to Cardiff? I mean, you told me stories in the past of even on the coach going to the ground. It's made very clear that they're desperate to beat you.
Well, it's one of those stadiums, isn't there? There's not many in the world where the stadiums are actually situated directly in the centre of the city. Murrayfield's outside of the city, Twickenham's outside of the city. But Lansdowne and the Aviva now and the Millennium, or was it King Power Stadium, they keep getting changed. They're right in the city centre. So as soon as you come out, you're into the hubbub. You're mixing with the fans, and I remember the journeys on the way into the matches. You've got hordes of both fans, but predominantly the Welsh. Singing very passionately. Some slightly drunk. I remember one chap actually took a run up out the bus and charged it with his head. Safe to say, he came off worse than the bus when we sort of carried on. And looked at him just laying on the road, and his friends taunting us still whilst he was prostrate on the floor. But it's that environment, it's that sort of gladiatorial environment that it creates, and that's why you love it. That's why you want to go there and play, because it challenges you more than any other place. And it will be a real test for England at the weekend. On the pitch, on the way to the game, after the game. All those little external factors will be playing on this performance.
And you're fully expecting England to step up quite markedly from their performance against France.
Well, they have to step up, whether we expect it or not. If they want to win, that performance needs to be better. There's no way, if they play like they did against France, they will not win in Wales. I think Eddie will make a few changes. Whether it's Hughes or Wood, I think Haskell will come in. I suspect he may give Hughes another opportunity in that 8 berth, because it was his first start, and he has been on scintillating form for Wasps. So can he convert that on the international basis? So then will Wood miss out with Itoje staying in that 6th slot, who also, I think didn't have his greatest game. A number of penalties, maybe misjudged tackle timing, whatever. But that whole three across the back row need an improved performance. I think there was a lot said about Dylan Hartley's performance. I can't see Eddie Jones dropping Dylan, but the pressure is now on him from a quality player like Jamie George, who sits on the bench. You've got Jack Noel, who looked incredibly hungry. I don't think Elliot Daly did anything wrong with it. I think the kick that he got just before half time was an absolute beaut, and really shows his skill set. But Jack Noel just looks hungry when he comes on the rugby pitch. He's exciting to watch. For their impact alone, last weekend's game, I'd like to see Haskell and Noel start for sure.
You mentioned about a quick word about Wales. The Alan Wynne-Jones as the captain, Sam Warburton as the player, back to being the infantry, seemed to work well. This is a man who's lost his mojo, who's been out of form. He was one of the standout players for Wales last weekend.
Absolutely, and Tipuric. I've sung Tipuric's praises for a long time. And they've played with Lydia and Warburton. Lydia, a world-class player, a lion in his own right, and Fatal. But you're right, sometimes we see him, when Chris Robshaw is alleviated of the captaincy, actually his game improves because there's less burden. Sam got the captaincy at a very young age. He's done it for a long time now. And maybe he just needed a break. And actually, a lot of people thought Alan Wynne-Jones would get it ahead of Sam in the first place. So, Alan Wynne has been a leader. He continues to be a leader. He's a natural fit into that captain's role. And actually, it's allowed Sam to play much better. And the triumvirate across that back row, I think, had one of their better performances, certainly in that second half.
Where's it going to be won and where's it going to be lost?
Being a back row, you tend to look at those areas of the game, but for me at the minute, those three from Wales have the march on England. And I wouldn't have said that, back in the autumn, because, Rob Shaw had, outstanding series. So did Haskell. I mean, Billy Vunipola was just epic. All of a sudden, those three are taken out, and the guys coming in haven't quite filled the void in the same way. So, the opportunity needs to be taken. So if Nathan Hughes is given that opportunity, he needs to take it. If Wood's given that opportunity, he needs to take it. I don't think there's any more second chances for England in that back row, because Tipuric and Warburton will take advantage. The other, I suppose, is at fly half. We saw Ford come off with 20 minutes to go. Farrell move up to 10. Is there something? Teo comes on and scores a try. So does Farrell then move to 2? We know how much Eddie Jones loves Owen Farrell. He's that, just the temperament that he has for the game is wonderful. And I thought he played well at the weekend. So that might be another interesting conundrum.
Okay, the odds are Wales to win 11-6, draw 18-1. England, quite surprisingly, I think, 9-4 on. 9-4 on to beat Wales in Cardiff.
Yeah, I think that's taken the previous form into account. England are on 15. England, however poorly they played last weekend, you don't win 15 games on the bounce, without being a very good side. So I think there's good reason for that assessment of their odds. But at the minute, they're not playing their best rugby, and all that matters is how they play at the weekend. So the judgment, that we're going to make is on last weekend's performance, and it needs to be significantly better for them to match those odds, I think.
Okay, finally, score prediction.
I think England have got that bogey game out of the way, and actually in some ways I think it would have done England a world of good to lose last weekend. It would have been a good kick up the arse that they needed to make sure that they're concentrating on all the basics that they need to keep working on. You look at the set piece, the line out, some of those line outs of the weekend were just atrocious. You wouldn't expect from your under 15 B team. But in terms of the score, I do think England will go away and will have assessed what they've done. Eddie would have looked at his preparation, addressed it. Gustave Borthwick would have done the same. And I think you'll see a rejuvenated England with a few changes come in and win it by 7.